Hello, welcome to the Record Celtic podcast brought to you by NordVPN. My name is Daniel Caw. I'm delighted to be joined by Record Sports' Ryan McDonald. I'm a little bit less delighted, Ryan, to see the surroundings that you're in. It looks a lot better than it does here, to be honest.
You're saying that, Dan, but I've heard that it's actually warmer in Glasgow than it is here in the Algarve today. I think it's 25 tops here, which is absolutely fantastic. But in Glasgow, I've heard it's 27, so you're doing all right back home as well.
Anyone that follows you on Instagram will have seen your picture yesterday, seen your office for me. I was a wee bit jealous.
Yeah, that's a bit better than my back garden back home, I'll give you that.
You're in the Algarve with Celtic. The pre-season preparations are ongoing. There's only one place for us to start. Camilo Duran, he's a Celtic player, Ryan.
Yeah, he's finally a Celtic player. We told that he was signing a £6 million deal from Karabag, which is a record sale for them, and he's also penned a 5-year deal as well. So it's a significant investment by Celtic. It's the first bit of business this summer. It's obviously a bit well overdue as well. He scored 15 goals last season, 5 in the Champions League. I think we all know that by now. But I think speaking to Martin O'Neill, he seems pretty excited by it. I think it will offer Celtic certainly something different up front. He is versatile. He can play in the flanks, but I think Martin O'Neill sees him more as a striker. But he was out in the grass yesterday doing an individual training session, and he was out joined his teammates today. So it's the first hopefully of many from Celtic's perspective, and I'm sure the manager's keen to press on with it.
And obviously, as you say, he's a striker. We know he's versatile. And Martin O'Neill's kind of said, Ryan, that he wants another striker even after Duran.
Yeah, obviously Kelechi Ieahnacho is one player that he definitely wants to bring back. Kelechi obviously made a huge difference last season. It wasn't for him, Celtic wouldn't have won the league. His fitness issues clearly were a bit of a concern, but you know, he's obviously a free agent. I know he's got interests across Europe, and I think he's got a bit of interest in America as well. So I know that Celtic are locked in talks with his agents, and that's ongoing at the minute. But Martin O'Neill will certainly be hopeful that a deal can be done, and to bring him back. Whether or not he would be the only striker addition on top of Camilo Duran, I'm not so sure. Obviously, a lot of that will be dependent on Maeda, what happens with him. We can all expect him to leave at some point, but that could come closer to the end of the window. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's three new strikers that come in by the time the summer transfer window shuts. But Kelechi Ieahnacho is definitely one they want to bring in. And I know obviously he made such a huge contribution last season with his match-winning goals, particularly towards the end. But he must have come in with a point to prove as well. You know, he's only 29, so he should be coming in with the view to starting and becoming Celtic's number one striker. You know, he can't. He's going to be on. I'm imagining he'll be on a decent penny, so he can't. You know, Martin needs to be able to rely upon him for 90 minutes, and he wasn't able to do that last season. So that'll be a big thing for Kelechi if indeed he comes back, does come back. But there's nothing imminent on that.
I can kind of understand, Ryan, why, and it sounds funny to kind of have a go at how long it's taking Celtic to do the business on the day that they announce a £6 million striker. But Ieahnacho's a guy that they had a year option on, and I think the idea would be, look, get him in for all of pre-season. And I know Martin O'Neill said in the last couple of days we'll get him in, he'll have a good few weeks. But surely you want him in now? I don't really get why they're having to renegotiate. It sounds a bit odd to me.
I think perhaps I've spoken to a few people, and perhaps his salary demands for the amount of game time he did get last season. I think that might be a wee bit of a sticking point, because as I say, he would be on quite a decent salary. You need to remember he's former La Liga and Premier League player, played for Man City as well, so in Leicester City. So he'd been used to be on big bucks. So Celtic, quite rightly, I suppose, are trying to negotiate the best deal for themselves, and I think you probably would be looking at a 1-year deal, another 1-year extension. I'd like to think it's like what happened with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So obviously Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, I saw him today. He was out training as well. He's linked up with the group here in Algarve. So I think Martin O'Neill just keen to get more in the door, and Kelechi is definitely one he wants.
Well, on Oxlade-Chamberlain, Ryan, what did you make of that? I mean, I was kind of surprised, to be honest, to see him get a new deal, but I can kind of see the logic in it. I mean, he's not even 33 yet. His contributions last season, whilst limited, were very telling, very important. I don't really see a downside for Celtic.
Yeah, I know he's turning 33 soon, but I think that experience is invaluable, and people forget that he did score 2 winning goals from the bench against Livingston in his debut. and then, he started against St Mirren and scored the winning goal there. So he contributed 6 points, and he came in as a free agent after the January window had shut. So, I think he's very well respected in and around at Celtic. Of course he is, because he's a Champions League winner, he's a Premier League winner. And I think having that experience is absolutely invaluable at a club at Celtic, a club that demands to win all the time. And there is going to be so many new players coming into the building, like you'd expect. And I think having a guy like Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, complemented by Callum McGregor and James Forrest, experienced players like that, serial winners, I think that can only be good for the club. And I know that Martin O'Neill played a big part in getting him back. And I think it made sense.
One guy, Ryan, I know you've been talking to a few people around Celtic out there. One guy who it looks like won't be coming to Celtic this week, despite reports in Italy that Celtic are going to go all out for him, is Kieron Bowie. You think there's nothing in those links?
No, there's absolutely nothing in those links at all. I think there was reports saying that Celtic were going all out for him somewhere in Italy, but that's just simply not true. And Celtic, they could have, if they did want Kieron Bowie, they could have bought him for £5-6 million in January, and they're certainly not going to pay the rumoured price fee of being speculated of around £13 million. But either way, he's not on Celtic's radar. He's not up there pursuing, and we can nip that one in the bud.
Have you heard anything, Ryan, about the Egyptian winger Hassan? I know that a lot of fans on social media were really excited seeing him play against Argentina the other night at the World Cup, albeit they obviously lost Egypt, but he was a standout, and I think Celtic fans would be really excited if they could get him over the line. Yeah,
I've not heard anything concrete in that one, Dan, but I mean, I suppose there'll be a load of names that Celtic will be casting their eye over, and especially, at the World Cup as well. I'm sure they'll have scouts over there and looking people into analytics, and I think he's, from what I've read, he seems to have been one that stood out, but I couldn't say for certain that he's on Celtic's radar, but I think he impressed the other night, didn't he? And a lot of fans were clamouring for the club to sign him. But I've heard nothing concrete on that one yet.
Obviously, you're out there, Ryan. The guys are doing the pre-season training, but what else is on the horizon? Celtic play Sporting Lisbon. Is it Tuesday night or Monday night?
It's Tuesday night. So as I say, we're here at the training centre just now. It's an absolutely it's pristine condition. The pitches are absolutely brilliant. The complex they're in is absolutely stunning as well. So, but from what I've heard, Martin O'Neill has put his team through double training sessions, so it's certainly no holiday camp, that's for sure. And as I say, the heat is absolutely sweltering over here. So, we've came here for the first time today, and we had the chance to speak to the manager and a couple of the players as well. So that's all to come on Record Sport Online and of course in the paper. So that'll be coming out in the next few days. Now, some really interesting thoughts from Martin O'Neill, which I'm excited to release and talk about. So that'll be all coming your way shortly. So and also over the weekend as well, I think we'll be coming back here before Celtic's pre-season game, the final game of their Portugal trip, which is against Sporting Lisbon at the Stadio Algarve. That's on Tuesday. So we're coming back here for another chat with the manager and possibly another player, and then we'll be going to the game on Tuesday. I think don't be expecting Celtic to be at their rip roaring best. As I say, they've been the conditions out here are brilliant, but the heat is absolutely it's sweltering. So I think that'll conclude a grueling week here in the Algarve. So I think Martin O'Neill, like he did in Dublin against Shelbourne, he'll be rotating his squad. So I think it's a cliche, but at this point in the season, it's all about getting minutes in the legs, and I think that'll be the main objective against Sporting Lisbon on Tuesday night. And
just before I let you go, Ryan, it's obviously we're recording this on Friday afternoon, and you're saying to me the game isn't until Tuesday. So I mean, you'll obviously be keeping yourself busy. You'll be joining in the training, I imagine, the pre-season training and keeping fit and stuff. That's what's on the horizon for you.
Well, funny enough, I was speaking to Martin earlier on, and he asked me if I wanted if I would take over as manager. I was like, well, I don't know about that, Martin. A lot of pressure on your shoulders, but looking at the training session, we were lucky enough to be here today. I mean, as I say, they're working up a real sweat, and they've really been put through their paces. It looks the boys were passing by as we were waiting to speak to the manager, and they looked absolutely exhausted. So I think they'll be in peak condition come the start of the season, but for me over the weekend with so many World Cup games on, not sure I'll be in peak condition.
I was going to say, if anyone watching or listening to this at home, please spare a thought for Ryan over the weekend. It's going to be a really hard weekend for him out in the Algarve. So hope you come through okay, mate.
Thanks very much.
And as Ryan said earlier, stick with Record Sport for all of your latest Celtic transfer news and beyond. Ryan, it's always a pleasure, mate.
Dan, thanks very much, mate. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next Celtic pod.
Absolutely. All the best, and thanks for watching and listening at home. Cheers.